percent of a number. What does the word of mean? You should know this, right? We've talked about this several times. What does the word of mean?
Multiplication.
Okay, so if I'm going to find the percent of a number, what am I going to do? I'm going to be doing what?
Multiply.
I'm going to be multiplying, right? So percent of a number. You don't have to write this down. You just told this to me.
Oh.
We talked about this the other day as well. So when you're finding the percent of a number, you are going to be using multiplication. Okay, so we know that when we're finding the percent of a number, we will always be using multiplication. So today in your assignment, you're going to be using multiplication. The first step to changing to finding the percent of a number is to change the percent to a decimal. We talked about how to do that over the last 2 days. So you're writing down. Step 1, you're writing down. Okay, how do I go from a percent to a decimal? How do I do that?
Move the decimal 2 places to the right.
2 places to the right.
Wait for.
I have a percent,
From what?
and I'd like to go to a decimal. What do you think?
2 places to the left.
2 places to the left, right? First of all, I'm gonna take away that sign. My decimal would be here. I'm gonna move it 2 places to the left. So 75% becomes 0.75 or 0.75. Okay, so I'm moving 2 places to the left. You also need to write that part down. Okay, so you need to make sure that you're moving that decimal place 2 places to the left. Once you have that decimal moved 2 places to the left, you're going to multiply the 2 numbers together. This is the important part. The other part, if you don't remember how to multiply decimals, which some of you may not, then you need to write the rest down, because it's when we're writing, it says that, remember that when you are writing, or that when you are multiplying with a decimal, you have to multiply as usual, then count the number of places after the decimal in the question. That's how many places you're going to have after the decimal in the answer. You should know that, because you just had a test on that a little while ago, last week, last Friday.
Oh, yeah.
You had a test that included questions like this, right? So hands up if you're pretty confident in your ability to multiply with the decimal. Good, because you're going to need that confidence today as you're going to be working through your sheet.
Yeah, I didn't get my test.
Right, so I have it, because you weren't here yesterday, Tuesday after. Yeah. Okay. So, you've got 2 steps. Step 1, percent to decimal. Step 2, multiply. 20% of 54. I know that I can automatically replace the of with the multiplication sign. What would the percent to a decimal be? What would that look like?
0.2.
Okay, does it matter if you have 20 after that? Like 0.20? It doesn't, but that would add 1 step to multiplying. Right? Do you want to keep it simple? What would my multiplication equation look like?
0.2 multiplied by 54.
Okay, or else if I would like to multiply less, I can have 54 times 0.2. Right, I can set it up that way. It's a little bit easier to set up that way. I don't have to worry about the magic 0. Okay, so do it. Okay, we are working in dollars, so a couple of things are missing, right? What's the first thing that I have that's missing?
You should add the 0 after the 8, so it's 80 cents.
So it's 80 cents, okay?
Yeah.
It doesn't change the value of it, right? If I have $10.8 or $10.80, the value doesn't change. What else am I missing? Yeah?
The dollar sign.
The dollar sign, because I'm dealing with money. Okay? Okay. if you had the 0, this is what it would look like, right? Does it matter? No, we can add the 0 afterwards. And I think that my answer is actually under here. Nope, it is not. Anyway, there you go. What about this one? What would this one look like? Okay, who would like to?
That appeared under the door.
Mr. Miss Wilson.
Okay, hands up if you agree. You can't see it? Okay. Do you agree now? $7.50. Have to erase it to get to there. And that is absolutely correct, right? Decimal and dollar sign, which is what we just had. Okay, so here's what your assignment looks like today. There are 30 questions that you are going to be working on. Your sheet looks like this. So what does that tell you about what I'm expecting to happen here? What do you think?
You're supposed to do a work, not draw a beautiful picture.
You are supposed to do a work, not draw a beautiful picture here. Mind you, if you do your work on a separate page, could you draw a beautiful picture here if you're done? You could. Right? So, you are going to be not using the calculator, right? It's pretty straightforward. What I would really like you to understand by the end of the day today is how to find the percent of a number, because we are going to be using that to figure out things like sales tax and discount for the next couple of days. Okay, so we want to become really good at this before we're going to be adding steps to that.
Yeah, you can know how much like 20% off is.
Right, so that you can know if you are seeing a sale, you can know how much you're expecting to save on that item, and also how much you're going to be paying for that item when you include tax. So this stuff that we're learning now is probably it has the most direct impact for you right now, right? Because you all shop. At some point in time in the next, if you don't shop now, you will be shopping for your buying certain things. If it's not clothes, it certainly will be something like video games or like iPod or things like that, right? So you have to know, make sure that they're calculating the correct percentage. If you have a discount, you need to know if you have enough money to pay for that, right? Before you get up to the till. So we're going to get really, really good at this, because you actually will hopefully be using this, right? On a daily basis. Not maybe daily, but often.